guys, it's Brit. Tonight we're here with an update on the Not So Resilient Jenkins. Steph has decided to go on a complete rant, and I've listened to it once and I figured it was worth a reaction because, as I've said in other videos, a lot of y'all don't have TikTok, don't want TikTok, which is valid. So we're going to talk about it over here. So I have thoughts. If you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so let's get into this reaction. I will also be including at the end of the video what Arlita had to say about this, because Steph really just points the finger right at Arlita, and her response video was 10 out of 10. Fully recommend. So I will include it at the end of this. But before I get ahead of myself, as always, let's start with Steph's portion and go from there.
What a fucking morning. So, as you probably already know, well, some people may know, because Drew posted about it. Drew went to the hospital this morning. I've never been the type of person that just likes to seek attention or...
So let's pause it right there already. Drew did share that he was in the hospital because he took his heart medication and had a seizure that was 3 to 5 minutes long, and he doesn't know anything because when he woke up, he was in the hospital. You guys, if you're gonna play sick, you should at least allow the math to math properly. You were doing court, and somebody who does not have a history of seizures all of a sudden has a seizure when they are literally being held in contempt of court by their first baby mama. And now all of a sudden we're in the ER, so dramatic, oh, the world is ending kind of deal. I have so much sympathy for people that deal with seizures and medical issues and actually do experience these things. But I think that it's pretty clear what's going on here. As you will hear Arlita also say, she knows Drew. She knows Drew far better than anyone, including Steph. And he does not have a history of seizures. Now, I'm not saying that if you don't have a history of it, it can't happen. But guys, like, come on. We see what's going on here. And I think most of us agree on that. We can sympathize with people who do have this to deal with, but then there's also the final boss of bumhood, Drew, who is utilizing this as something where he can use it as an excuse to get out of, oh, that's why I wasn't at court.
Or wants people to pity me. That's why I find it goofy when people think that, like, I'm playing this lifestyle of broke because I want attention. Like, that's the fucking last thing on my mind. That'd be silly.
Well, Steph, you are playing the lifestyle of being broke to a certain degree because, as we all know, you went viral on TikTok in October of 2024. You made a mountain of money off of all of those videos, and you continue to make a mountain of money off of your content. But instead of paying your rent, making sure that your children are housed in a safe environment where they can thrive and grow and do all of the good things that most parents want for their children, you and Drew decided to not pay your rent, and now we're in the motel shelter. If y'all don't know, like, if this is the first video you're coming across of mine discussing this family, check the playlist. If you have some free time or you need to have background noise while you're cleaning your house or walking your dog or, you know, whatever you're doing, check the playlist. It is all perfectly documented. Exactly how these bums were discovered and what has brought us to this current place that we're in now.
I think if there's people who do legit play like they're poor as we are for attention, there's something deep inside wrong with you. Deeply wrong. That's beside the point. I've been so quiet about so fucking much because I'm just not the type. I don't want extra drama. I've been through so much in my life, and I've just had so many like depressive moments that it's like I'm just tired.
I love when someone says, I don't want attention, I hate attention, but here you are, sad fishing, grifting, and exploiting your way through your social media career. And yes, that was in air quotes if you're listening only, because we all know that this is not a career. This is not a job for these two. Because if you're actually in a position where you can create content that people support and they look forward to, and they are, watching content that does not involve exploiting your children or mismanaging money or grifting, that is a career, but none of those apply to Steph and Drew.
I'm just done. I want to be happy. I want to be stress-free. So drama and me, they don't mix, okay? But I want to say that this is a lot of speculation. Like,
let me also make it very clear that what's going on with them, this is not drama. Nothing about the resilient Jenkins is lighthearted drama, commentary, tea. Ooh, that was shady. That is not what is happening with these two. The conversation around them has everything to do with child neglect, laziness, putting yourself in a position where now you are living in a motel shelter and you refuse to get a job because your bum partner owes child support, and he knows that a W-2 would mean that he would have to give up some of those wages to the other children that he has created.
People know what's what about me and Drew. And I don't care. I get that people got to make their own bills. They want to pay their own bills, and they got to be their Reddit update selves.
You know she hates the Reddit, and you know she's reading everything that is posted over there. I don't like this argument of someone saying, well, I'm a neglectful parent or I'm a bad parent, and people that are making videos about my neglect or my abusive parenting are chasing a check. They have to talk about me because that's how they pay their bills. You know what? At least the people that are covering you have paid their bills. You can't even say that for yourself, and you've made a lot more money off of TikTok than most of the channels that are covering you. At least those people are paying their bills. And let's again not act as if it's some kind of drama that people are just really laser focused on. You and your neglectful, abusive parenting is being discussed. And if people are getting paid off of that, so be it. At least they pay their rent with the money that they make.
That's okay. You make your living off being nasty. That's you. I don't care. But I'm not posting anything. I don't even know how to say it. I know that there's this term. You check yourself into the Facebook hospital where you're trying to seek attention. You're trying to seek people being pitied. Pity. Yeah, you're just seeking pity. That's just not me.
Nobody is pitying you. In fact, it's the complete opposite. We see two lazy, extremely lazy, entitled grifters that just so happen to have children in their care. Jesus, take the wheel on that. We feel pity for the children. Nobody is pitying y'all because you, in this same video, confirm and double down on the stance of not wanting to work. You want everything given to you off of social media, while you sit on your ass in a motel shelter that you are not paying for, and your children suffer because of your bad decisions.
Andrew, okay? We're very to ourselves, and the reason we were going to try to start sharing about his health journey was more just because it was on me. He wasn't even fully comfortable.
We're very to ourselves, but we've blasted our entire life plus our kids on social media. We just don't like the way that it's going right now because people are calling out our disgusting parenting and having a really important conversation about it. Oh, we keep to ourselves. That is the most asinine thing that I've heard in a while. If you put all of your personal life onto social media, that is not keeping to yourselves or being a private person.
With it. It was me trying to slap people in the face with the reality that he's not just some man that sits on his ass and does nothing for his family.
Yes, he is. It's confirmed. If he was not that, he would be working. He would want to save his children from the reality that they're living in a motel shelter, and the clock is ticking. Because as I've said in previous videos, this is not something that is secure for the next year, 2 years, 3 years. Usually these shelters are short term, they serve a purpose, and then hopefully the person can secure permanent housing. But instead, y'all are weeks in to living in a motel shelter, and here, literally April 9th, you are doubling down on refusing to get a job. Drew is a bum, you are a bum, and also an enabler. And it's embarrassing.
We've taken the steps, we've taken self-employment and pursuing different routes for not just his health, but my health included. And you know, I don't give a rat's hairy ball ass about your freaking statements of, well, I got this, that, and the third disease, and my husband has this, that, and that, and he'll still go to work and all that. Guess what? That's your decision. I've seen way too many people.
Okay, Steph, and you can share your decision for your refusal to work and all of the excuses that you have wrapped around that. But people are going to have an issue with it when you are literally homeless. Homeless and a refusal to work is something that you don't typically see. Usually, once this reality hits people, especially when they have children, that is their rock bottom. And a lot of times that's where you see this transition of taking control of your life. And whether you're doing it for yourself or your kids or everyone, that does not matter. But most people use this as an opportunity to say, I am never going to allow this to happen again. But y'all are saying, oh, working is too hard, work is so stressful, most people say, yeah, you know, my spouse is sick or has some kind of issue, and they still go to work as a way to say, y'all don't have anything that's holding you back besides being lazy and entitled grifters.
Way too freaking young. And when I noticed that, hey, if I keep pushing my body this, that, and the third way, I'm going to cut 10 years off my life, and the same for my man, we're not going to do that. We're going to take the steps to worry about our health and be here for our kids as long as we possibly can. And I don't care if that bothers you.
So being here for as long as you can for your kids, that means you're content with living in a motel shelter, using the deep fryer, not having secure housing, cats, you know, just not having a car that can fit your whole family while your man sits on his PS5 all day and yells at his internet buddies. For me, it sounds like both of them are so... They're so caught up in this delusion that this social media thing is working in their favor. Y'all are viral because you are hated. And I don't know about y'all, but I would not want my social media career to be built off of 95% of the people clicking on my videos absolutely have zero amount of respect for me.
Just don't. This morning was bullshit. Okay? Because the medical system is failing my man. I'm seeing firsthand how African Americans get treated in the medical system. And if you want to deny that, that's probably because it doesn't affect you. Okay? Or it doesn't affect someone close enough to you that you know what I'm talking about. It just seems like we know. That's just it. I haven't shared it because I just know how people are. Y'all gonna be like, oh, well, she can say, well, this test came back normal and this came back normal, and well, obviously there's nothing wrong with him and he's just playing games. Nah, man. Do you know how many times an African American has their medical concerns dismissed simply because that's just...
So what she's doing here is taking a legitimate issue that does happen, and she is trying to say, oh, well, that's also what's happening with my man, my man. I know for a fact that medical issues and medical concerns are downplayed or disregarded. What's happening here is they are trying to paint a different picture as a way to say, oh, well, that's why we're not working. This is why we don't want a W-2 job. But at the end of the day, we know exactly why they don't want W-2 jobs. And that is that's the end of the story. We see through it. She doesn't like it, so she's utilizing something that is valid and actually does happen as a way to apply it to her man so that people will say, oh, well, maybe that is it. That's not it.
How the doctors want to play? I don't care if you watch me. I'll watch it back. And this morning, when my man was interacting with the paramedics, I just often ask myself, like, would you be asking these questions if it was would you be asking these questions in a different scenario? Because why are you instantly assuming that this has to do with some kind of substance?
So let's just talk about the whole conversation of EMTs, nurses, or doctors asking, is there substance, or is substance a part of your life or lifestyle, whatever? Number one, I haven't, luckily, knock on wood, I haven't been in an ER in a long time, but to me, that seems like part of the protocol. They're just asking questions. That's their job, to figure out what's going on here. So there is a list of questions that needs to be asked. I don't think that that's something to really pick apart. But what I would like to say is that with all of the money that has disappeared from these two, going viral, the money's not there, eviction, no money, all of that. There's another conversation happening talking about how when you are coming off of a stimulant, a seizure is a risk. So I will let y'all dissect that and talk about it in the comments down below. But literally right here, it says, if you are taking a high dose of a stimulant, it can significantly increase the risk of seizures. If the seizure did actually happen, was it a result of this? Was he coming off of it because of the court date? Was it a few days? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying it's happening. I'm not saying it's a fact. Just let me know how you feel about that down below, because I've seen many people bringing that to the table as far as, well, this could be happening and whatever.
Abuse. Why are you instantly assuming that he's faking it? And why are you calling him old when he's 35? Not an old man yet. And then just to sit there and act like I don't know my own man that I've been with for 3 years. And I'm telling you, he's not acting himself. He's not.
Y'all don't know my man like I know my man. I've been with him for a whole 3 years. Girl.
Not acting himself. I don't get it. I think it's freaking hilarious how doctors and people in the medical field will be like, I got this degree. I know you better than you know yourself. You just met me. You don't. Your degree did not. You didn't have a degree on me, bitch.
Does she actually not think that all of the training and schooling that goes into being a doctor matters? Nobody is saying that the doctor knows everything there is to know about you, but they damn sure know more about medical issues than you do. Steph's over here trying to do, lemon tea when her kids are probably in need of serious medical attention.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you need to listen. And ever since we went viral, the hell that we have gone through with the doctor's office, and it's not professional at all. And we have kept our mouth quiet.
Is she really trying to say that going viral on social media has to do with the level of care that they're receiving from the medical system? I don't know. Nothing in this video makes an ounce of sense. It should have stayed in the drafts or been for her, 7 subscribers that she has on TikTok. How, as a stupid person, I would go out of my way to make sure that I don't continue to look stupid publicly.
But I'm low-key tired of it, okay? I'm low-key freaking tired of keeping my mouth shut. I got a lot.
Uh-oh, guys. She's low-key freaking tired of keeping her mouth shut.
To say. And I've just been quiet. But I think I had a tipping point today where I just decided I didn't care if it was a 10-minute long video. I'm going to ramble and speak my freaking mind because I haven't done so. I've been so quiet. And you think my little videos and posts back are anything? No, I have not spoke my mind, and I damn well want to. But I don't think it's important. Sometimes, not that I don't think it's important. I don't think it's going to do any good. Because, take for example, Miss Rachel had a baby today. At least it's announced today, right? There's Reddit account who want to sit there and spew their ugly ass crap on Miss Rachel having a baby. So I don't give a flying fuck what you all have to say. I know that you guys have evil deep down that you just don't know what to do with except sit behind a keyboard and spew it out on people who are doing nothing to you. It's goofy. It's freaking goofy. Like I said, I got shit to say. You think I didn't want to fly off the mouth the first few times?
The whole thing, like, I did a really brief search on Reddit for Miss Rachel and her baby being announced. I don't see a lot of negativity. Of course, listen, if you go on Reddit, you can find something negative about the most wholesome piece of news that has been released in the last 5 years. That's just the nature of Reddit. There's always going to be at least a few people that have something negative to say. But I didn't see negativity. And again, it goes back to Steph claiming that she doesn't care about haters. She doesn't read comments. She doesn't care about the keyboard warriors and all of this kind of stuff. But you're mentioning Reddit a whole lot in this video, which for me, it tells the truth that you're actually very active consuming what is going on Reddit. You might want to switch that energy from reading stuff about yourself or Miss Rachel on Reddit and submit some job applications or tell your man to submit some applications, because like I said in a recent video, this, like, there is no way out of this for them if there is not a full-time job involved. Whether it's from him or from Steph, it doesn't matter. There needs to be a full-time job in this household. And yes, a W-2. Ooh, so scary. I know.
Had I seen that his exes posted? Because what is that? Y'all had nothing to do with my life prior to me going viral. You had nothing to do with mine and Drew's relationship. You had nothing to do with this. And you see his significant other is starting to do good, and you can't handle that. You have to come in and try to get your piece. You have to come in and try to stomp whatever success Drew might. And
why is she talking about significant other? What a weird way to label your relationship. And let's just break this down real quick. Of course, I'm going to include what Arlita had to say because her voice is the most important in this conversation right now. But number one, nobody is jealous because, you know, at least speaking for myself, like, I have a house, I have a roof over my head. I would never make tens of thousands of dollars and decide to not pay my rent with that money because it is just dumb, like dumber than anything I can think of. Nobody is coming for your relationship or you being viral. Arlita has been chasing your bum man for 12 years. You made it a little easier to figure out exactly where y'all were staying by posting the content that you posted. I guarantee you not a single person is jealous of you or Drew or y'all as a couple or whatever you think you are. You can have him. You can have him and you can have this entire life because this is not something that I would ever want remotely close to me. Alita is owed money and you might want to reconsider getting involved with somebody who has multiple children that they are not taking care of financially.
End up having because of his significant other. I've said nothing. And I thought eventually people would just be like, oh, that lady, that was the person who was misinformed, or this person is spewing off the mouth. And I thought it would all start speaking for itself, but all it's done is just turn into more webs of lies. And I've learned that there's more evil on the web than there is good. It just seemed like I'm amazed at some of the shit I see. I really am. And don't get me fucking started when it comes to Deshaun. That shit is getting me. I've done nothing but be there for that kid. He calls me mama. Who's he look for in the morning? Me. Who does he rely on for food, clothing? Me. And I make sure he has it every time before myself. Unlike you. Try to remember that. Now for the subscribers who want to sit there and be like, hey, this is what we paid for a subscription for.
So if there's more evil on the internet than there is good, then why is it that you're so comfortable posting your children on the internet? Why is it that you're so comfortable telling everybody exactly where you live? Why is it that you're so comfortable showing people where you live and what you're doing day to day and what kind of car y'all drive? If it's so full of evil, then that would be my number one cue to get my kids off of social media. Start protecting their privacy. Stop telling people where y'all are staying. Stop making it so obvious if it's so evil. But it's okay because you're making money off of it. And that, again, goes back, it circles back to why they are here. It is for money, money, money. That is it.
Be on the subscription side. Now I'm going to give a little more of a detailed story on the subscription side. A little more of like what actually went down with his whole, why he went to the hospital. And honestly, it might help me because I could just use to just talk the situation off, because I gotta play medical doctor sometimes, and it terrifies me, yo. Like I said, I've seen a lot, okay? I'll share more about that too.
Y'all, did Stephanie really get on this app and say I'm jealous of her? When the circus comes in, the clowns really get rolling, don't they? I've been with my man for 3 years and I really know him. Ma'am, I've known him since I was a fucking kid. I know his family. There's nothing wrong with him. You know what's wrong with him? He's lazy. He don't want to work. He's trying to hide from child support. And bitch, if you ever thought I was jealous of you, let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. You want to see something? Let me show you something real quick. Let me show you. Let me see if I can flip this. You think I'm jealous? Do you think I'm jealous? Wait, do you think I'm jealous? Jealous of what? Don't mind the dirty clothes, but jealous of what? What am I jealous of? My house is a little messy right now, but what am I jealous of? I mean, y'all excuse my house. But what am I jealous of, Stephanie? Please let me know. Because like I said, I know he never told you about me. I'm fucking crazy. I'm jealous, boo. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Make sure that man pay up what he's supposed to do. Make sure that man turn himself into that courthouse since you so big and bad. And saying I'm jealous. Like, y'all excuse my house because it's a little messy, but I'm jealous. I want to know where I'm jealous at. Let me know, Stephanie. Where am I jealous at, girl? Because you turned your stitch off. I want to stitch you. We can go back and forth. This is a fun little game for me. What am I jealous of, girl? You ain't got what I got. My car's paid off. I ain't got really no debt. What? I've been married for 10 years. My kids got a room. They share it. My dog, she may have a few little allergies, you know. I've been trying to get her balanced. She's 13, you know. I'm dealing with her. I've been dealing with her. But come again. Who's jealous of who? I've known him for 3 years. I've known him my whole life. I know his family. Me and his mom talk. Have you talked to her? Oh, wait, no, they don't want nothing to do with you. And I'm jealous. You know, his daddy would have slapped you in him. You wouldn't even exist, boo, if his daddy was around. God rest his soul. Because I know his daddy would flip. That let his little sister run into you, too. She might throw them hands. She's a Leo. She might not even waste time because she don't even like her own brother. And how is it that I'm still in contact with family and they don't want nothing to do with him? Riddle me that. I'm jealous. Oh my God, this made my night, y'all. I don't even know what to say. I gotta start dinner. I got my fish, the frosting. I gotta start making my dinner so I can show you guys how I do my fish. And I could post that. But I'm jealous, y'all. I didn't even know that about myself. Yeah, he ain't told you about me, Steph. I'm fucking crazy. Andrew, you gotta do better, bro. You gonna be messing around with these buckethead breezies. You better let them know. I'ma always hold you accountable. I've been holding you accountable for 12 years. Your daddy was on my side. Your mama's still on my side. Uncle Jeff is still on my side. Your sister will always ride for me, but and you say I'm jealous? Yeah, Stephanie, you might want to sit this one out, boo. You don't want this mess over here. I'll read you for filth, but I won't do that so I won't disrespect your mama. You better find someone else to play with and call somebody else jealous, because, bitch, I'll never be jealous of you.
So as far as getting so snotty with the boy's mother, this is disgusting, because you're sitting here acting as if doing the bare minimum, like feeding the child, is giving you some kind of award, as if you are deserved some insane level of respect and admiration. This is also the same child that was surprised when he got a pastry from Drew. This is the same child that is also sleeping on a mattress pad on the floor. So get off your pedestal, because you're doing nothing for this child. And if I said also in a recent video, if you were any kind of a decent parent, guardian, human being, you would look at this situation and say, what we are doing here is not in his best interest. Let's refigure out like what we're really doing here. Because we have a child that is sleeping on the floor on a piece of foam. That is not right. But instead you want to say, oh, he looks for me, I feed him, blah, blah, blah. You don't get an award for doing the bare minimum. You're also living in a motel shelter, and you can't stop laying on your back and reproducing. Now she's also putting more details for her subscribers only, her whole 7 subscribers. These two have really just like pissed me off and disgusted me in a way that it's been a while since I've felt so grossed out by 2 people that are on social media. Again, I'm going to include what Arlita had to say, but the more that Steph talks and the more she makes videos like this, the more people are seeing exactly how dishonest and deplorable she and Drew are. The amount of laziness and entitlement and grifting and excusing their own bad decisions is astonishing. But either way, I was going to take a short break from covering them, but again, this video just really got me going, so I wanted to share it with y'all. And I received a few messages about Drew and his hospital stay, and so I figured let's just put it all in one video. And tell me how y'all feel about all of this. Stay tuned for Arlita's opinion that she made on TikTok, because like I said, her opinion is one of the most important, if not the most important, in this conversation. But I think I've had enough for today. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.